You're listening to Sun Stories, where your intelligence is always respected. Settle in and enjoy the story. I'm the real daughter. The other one, the sweet, fragile poor me, act as a snake in silk. She blinked up at me with watery eyes and a trembling voice. I know you don't like me, sis. I'll leave. I hadn't even ripped the mask off her yet when my biological father beat me to it. He pointed to the door, voice cold enough to frost glass. If you want to go, then go now. Don't dirty my little girl's side. When the Lucas family finally found me, I was mid-experiment in a Columbia University lab. I'd been sleeping on a vinyl chair for 3 straight days to keep real-time notes. By the time I got to the Lucas townhouse on the Upper East Side, Lulu was draped in a designer knit set, makeup airbrushed, not a hair out of place. Me? Greasy ponytail, wrinkled hoodie, and skin so shiny I could have greased a skillet. Lulu ran at me like we were long-lost sisters reunited on a talk show. She grabbed my hands, voice syrupy sweet. You're Camille, right? Dad's real daughter? Oh my God, you're so authentic. I admire girls who just don't care what people think. Then she dropped my hands, dabbed them with a handkerchief, sprayed herself head to toe with perfume, and beamed. We're totally going to be best friends. That was my first full whiff of the green tea steam coming off her. My timing back home wasn't ideal. Dad Henry Lucas, Wall Street legend, was stuck in London because of travel restrictions, so he called me on video. He cried like the sky was falling. My baby girl, I failed you. You suffered all these years. If your mother knew, she'd kill me. I'm used to cool air, not fireworks. So I told him I wasn't that miserable. Orphanage was tough, sure, but I won scholarships and kept going. He didn't buy a word. He sobbed for an hour, then sent me a few $100,000 as walking around money, and finally calmed down. Right before he hung up, he said lightly, by the way, Lulu's been through a lot too. We're not missing a seat at the table. If she behaves, she can stay. If she behaves, right. Day 3 back at the townhouse. Lulu rolled in with a flock of friends. I came down for breakfast and found them camped in the dining room like they were running a talent show. They looked me up and down as if Dad had dragged home a feral raccoon. Lulu, is that the sister your dad just found? No way. She's, wow, country. I heard she grew up in a group home. Aren't those basically like slums? Totally. I read online they cram 10 kids in one room and feed them like pigs. They dissected me like I wasn't there. Lulu's mouth twitched like she was fighting a smile. Then she turned and poured honey on top. Don't say that. We've just never met anyone from such humble circumstances. It's new for us. She faced me, eyes shining. Don't be mad, sis. I lifted a brow. It's fine. I've also never seen people who are both brainless and shameless at the same time. New for me, too. Lulu's face went sheet white. Her friends erupted. Who do you think you are? You're only loud because Henry Lucas is your dad. Exactly. Do you know how much he dotes on Lulu? They chanted like backup singers. I walked to the window, slid it open, and said pleasantly, sorry, I'm worried stupidity is airborne. Needed ventilation. They froze, processed the insult, then started to explode until Lulu threw out an arm like a tragic heroine. She turned to me, eyes brimming. If you hate me so much, I'll leave. And she fled upstairs in dramatic slow motion, clearly waiting for her cue. That cue rolled up to the curb, Dad's black Bentley. Her friends perked up. You're dead. Mr. Lucas won't let you bully Lulu. I was still debating whether it was worth responding when Dad stormed in, called my baby girl, and stopped cold at the scene. What's going on? He asked, voice flat. Lulu's friends pounced. Mr. Lucas, Camille bullies Lulu. You raised Lulu. You can't abandon her. Lulu, quivering, crept forward. Don't blame her, Dad. I know she didn't mean it. Then she flinched with theatrical panic, clapped a hand over her mouth, and stammered, sorry. I forgot you told me I shouldn't call you Dad anymore. The whole room smelled like steeped tea. I folded my arms and watched. Would he be the clueless father from those novels who scolds his real daughter for the imposter's tears? Dad slapped the table. Why are you standing around? He snapped at the butler and staff. Didn't you hear? Camille wants Lulu out. Pack her things. Every expression froze. The butler blinked. Sir, you're expelling the Miss Lulu? Lulu blinked, squeezed out to fresh tears. Dad, who said anything about expelling the eldest daughter? Dad's voice went arctic. This house has one eldest daughter. My blood. Camille Lucas. What does a girl with no relation to me have to do with that title? Dad. Lulu choked. Don't call me that, Dad snapped. I have one daughter. The butler moved like a military drill. In minutes, 2 giant suitcases thumped by Lulu's feet. Miss Lulu, please leave, he said politely. Miss Lulu, not eldest miss. She looked to her friends. They examined the ceiling. She looked to Dad. He didn't look back. She shot me a glance full of venom, grabbed the handles, and stumbled out. The entourage evaporated. As soon as the door shut, Dad turned to me like a stagehand changing sets. Sweetheart, he said, signaling to the staff. A mountain of gift boxes arrived. I bought a few things. Didn't know what you like. So, a bit of everything. I eyed Mount Consumerism, then looked at him. Why did you believe me so fast? I asked. You've raised Lulu for 20 years. Today's the first time we've met. He stared, then burst out laughing, dropped a supercar key back on the table, and sighed. You think I'm an idiot, Camille? I shook my head. I'd already Googled him. From nothing to kingmaker, brilliant, ruthless. Half the world would have to be fools before he was. If I'm not an idiot, he said, why would you think I don't know what Lulu is? He rubbed his temple. I tried to straighten her out. Thought she was my child, so I protected her. Now I know she isn't, why tolerate it? Fair point. Those melodramas where Titan parents get spun in circles by a fake heiress. Cute fiction. Real money doesn't survive that kind of stupidity. I was still savoring the relief when chaos found me again. After an all-nighter finishing a chapter of my thesis, I stepped out of the lab building and a cobalt blue Lamborghini shrieked to a stop. A guy my age hopped out, Balenciaga jacket, Cartier bracelet, Patek Philippe watch, the whole catalog. You're Camille Lucas? He demanded. I am. And you are, he slicked back his hair. Listen up. Even if there's a family engagement between us, I will never fall for a country nobody like you. It was the top of the hour and students were pouring in. The car, the volume, the peacocking, we were immediately the show. I blinked. Engagement? Did scammers improvise this badly now? He sputtered. Scammers? I'm Brandon Tate. Don't play dumb. Your father didn't tell you? The Lucas and Tate families arranged an engagement when we were kids. And then I remembered. 2 nights ago, Dad casually asked if I had a boyfriend. I said yes. He grumbled about heartbreak, asked to meet him, then went. Okay, then I'll cancel the old engagement your mom set up. I'll handle it. Apparently the other side didn't want to wait. I opened my mouth to say relax. I'm not into you either. Brandon powered on. The only fiancé I recognize is Lulu, he announced. Even if she's not your dad's real daughter, my feelings don't change. I'm devastatingly handsome. I know you're dazzled, but you should give up. I stared, not at the engagement, at the delusion. Does your house own mirrors? I asked politely. He frowned. We live in a 6-story mansion. Of course we have mirrors. And you look into them daily? And you still believe that? I asked, genuinely curious. It took him a few beats to realize I was insulting him. He turned the color of his car. You were a charity case orphan. How dare you talk to me like Brandon? I said, do you know a man named Ethan Tate? He sniffed. He's my uncle. Why? My phone buzzed. A string of unread texts from Ethan. Sweetheart, how's the Lucas house? Did you tell your dad about us? I'll come meet him when I land tonight. Should I bring calligraphy or vintage wine? Also, I miss you. Brandon threatened to have his uncle tell on me to my father. I massaged my forehead. You do that. He heard silence and mistook it for fear. Keep your distance. And stop bullying Lulu, he warned, climbing back into his car and roaring away. I shook my head. The IQ pairing was perfect. Him and Lulu. Minutes later, my phone lit up with a video call. Ethan's face, elegant and fairly handsome, filled the screen. He opened with drama. Why haven't you answered my texts? Are you getting cold feet about introducing me to your dad? Regretting saying yes to my proposal? It was almost funny that the notorious, ruthless heir to the Vegas gaming empire sounded like an anxious golden retriever. I sighed. A little regret. His eyes went wide. Is it your work? I promised marriage wouldn't touch your research. Not work. I pinched my brow. It's the thought of a certain idiot calling me aunt all day. Silence. Then Ethan laughed, slow and lethal. Give me tonight, he said. I'll be there. That evening was Dad's idea. A massive party to formally introduce me to the upper crust. I hated the networking heat, but I understood the assignment. In that world, your face is your stock price. The ballroom overflowed New York old money, tech money, magazine editors, a couple of senators' wives, cameras. Dad paraded me from tableau to tableau. This is my daughter. I smiled, shook hands, tried to keep my ankles from screaming in heels. Somewhere between small talk and suffocation, a shriek sliced the noise. My necklace. Where's my Cartier? The crier was Kiki's son, heiress of a family with too much money and not enough hobbies. People clustered, thrilled at the scent of scandal. Then a soft voice drifted in. I think Kiki was still wearing it when she was talking to Camille. Right after that, it was gone. Lulu, on Brandon's arm. Of course. I remembered the butler mentioning Lulu's closest friend had been Kiki. And Lulu had strolled in here like she owned the air. It wasn't an accident. It was a setup. Honestly, Lulu murmured, I might have seen Camille pick it up. Maybe she just forgot to mention it. Lulu, I cut in. Don't lie. I'm sorry. She squeaked, shrinking behind Brandon, eyes huge. Don't be mad. Kiki folded her arms. If you didn't take it, then you won't mind if we check your bag. I was in a gown with no pockets, but I did have a tiny beaded clutch for my phone. Kiki lunged. I stepped aside, but Brandon swooped in faster and stronger and snatched the clutch. If you're innocent, why so jumpy? He sneered and flipped it open. My phone and a brilliant diamond necklace fell into his palm. The room inhaled as one. Lulu gasped like a theater student. Oh my God, isn't that Kiki's? Whispers multiplied. A Lucas heiress stealing? Well, she did grow up elsewhere. Old habits. I watched, oddly calm. The frame job was clumsy, but people love believing what confirms their prejudices. What's this? Dad's voice cut like a gavel. The crowd split. He'd been working the room and had finally noticed our bonfire. Lulu stepped forward, halo glowing. Dad, it was an accident. Camille must have been overwhelmed. She probably didn't mean it. She's never seen jewelry like that. Don't be mad at her. Her smile to me was razor bright. I saw the play now. In our world, reputation is currency. Getting caught with a stolen necklace at your own party? Even if Dad believes me, the headlines write themselves. She wanted Dad to resent me for embarrassing him. Dad looked down at the necklace. Cartier, he said mildly. Kiki puffed up. A limited edition. Tens of thousands. Dad nodded and pulled out his phone. Proceed with the acquisition, he said. Price is irrelevant. People stared. Kiki opened her mouth, then shut it as Dad lifted his gaze to me. Sweetheart, he said, voice warm. I just bought Cartier. It's going into your trust. If you want something, tell them directly. Silence detonated. Lulu's smile cracked. Kiki's jaw did too. Let me be clear, Dad continued, voice soft but deadly. My daughter doesn't need to steal from anyone. And if any of you insist otherwise, his mouth curved cold, I'll just buy everything you're waving around until you run out of accusations. Eyes dropped, throat swallowed. Then his attention slid to Lulu. And you, he said, do not call me Dad again. Keep talking nonsense. And 20 years of courtesy won't save you. Lulu's knees gave out. She collapsed into Brandon. He puffed up on cue. So this is how you treat Lulu? For that girl, I'm telling you, she's the worst kind of woman. She will never enter the Tate family. Dad blinked, as if remembering the old arrangement. He inhaled to scorch the earth. But I beat him to it. Not necessarily, I said. The room pivoted to me. Brandon barked a laugh. You're dreaming. I'll never marry you. I stared at him like he'd declared the moon was cheese. Who said I want you? He blinked. Then how exactly do you plan to get into the Tate family? Someone else going to marry you? A low voice rolled in from the doorway. I am. The crowd parted. Ethan Tate walked in tall, clean lines, the kind of face that makes a room forget its name. Conversations died mid-sentence. A few women actually forgot to breathe. Brandon lit up like a toddler spotting his favorite superhero. Uncle, you came just in time. She was mean to me. I knew Ethan's family tree. Old Las Vegas power. multiple marriages, complicated branches. Ethan and his older sister were the core of the main line. She'd practically raised him. He adored her and, by extension, her son Brandon. Tonight, though, Ethan's smile didn't reach his eyes. "Mean?" he said lazily. "That's called discipline." He took my hand and, with his other, rapped Brandon lightly on the head. "Say, Aunt." The ballroom went silent again. Dad recovered first, eyes wide. "Camille, your boyfriend is Ethan Tate?" I felt my cheeks warm. "Yes." Ethan faced Dad with perfect manners. "Mr. Lucas, I'm sorry I didn't come sooner to introduce myself. Our relationship is serious. Any chaos tonight is on me." He pushed Brandon's head down another inch. "My nephew forgot his place. I'll fix that." Brandon finally found his voice. "Your PAHDADDDDHEHE girlfriend is Camille." "No way, she's awful." Lulu told me. Ethan's eyes slid to Lulu, who was vibrating in place. He smiled, slow and sharp. He nodded to his assistant, who produced a laptop and a stack of files, videos, screenshots, testimonies. Lulu bullying classmates, colluding with Kiki to smear people, throwing around the Lucas name to trample anyone who annoyed her. Even Dad hadn't known the half of it. His face went slate. "You used my name to hurt people?" he asked softly. "You're finished." Kiki went chalk pale. Brandon's world tilted. Lulu broke. She lunged toward Dad. "Dad," he didn't look at her. She whirled to Brandon. "Brandon, you believe me, right?" Even he couldn't contradict his uncle's evidence. He stared at the floor. Security escorted Lulu out. As the doors closed, Brandon turned to me, eyes red with shame. "I'm sorry, Auntie," he mumbled. "I was wrong. Please don't be mad." "Auntie already? That was fast." Dad sputtered. "And who?" "They're not married yet." Brandon shifted, earnest. "Sorry, Grandpa Henry." Dad nearly combusted. I started laughing, loudly. The room softened around us. Maybe a little noise wasn't so bad after all. Thank you for listening to the story. If you enjoyed it, a like, share, or subscribe means the world. See you in the next video on Sun Stories.